YouTube and Facebook, along with Insidious streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and the Ghost from Ghost MAF streaming on Twitch. Welcome to Highway 34 Connection, the pod. The following podcasts are for mature audiences only, unscripted, unfiltered, and unedited as always. Pro Wrestling Talk, where we will sit down and we will discuss the world of professional wrestling. Conspiracy theories. Have a conspiracy you want us to talk about? Email us at highway34@gmail.com. Highway 34's History Lesson of the Week for World History. Talking Football, where we'll discuss the National Football League, the XFL, and the USFL. And the Honest 50, where the Chief will sit down with a guest and ask 50 questions, 25 from the Chief, 25 from their community. The Battle of Highway 34, the Trivia Show. Watch and listen as Ghost battles Insidious, or they battle the Chief. It is now time for your main event. Let's freaking go.
Welcome. We are here.
So, I'm starting to wonder do we even know what we're talking about when it comes to talking about football?
Begin to wonder if anybody knows what the hell they're talking about.
I mean, you won. Congratulations. But you shouldn't be happy about the win, really. I only got 4 right. You only got 5 right. Yeah. And the Cowboy fans, you and Chief, and everybody else and the other one Cowboy fan out there.
The other 3,000.
5 of you have like a good news, bad news situation from week 14 of the 7 things that you needed to happen to get you guys in the playoffs. You got 5 of them.
Yeah.
And the 5 you got weren't the 5 I was seeing coming. I mean, I thought
For sure.
I thought you'd get the other 2 and you'd be in. But good news. And we're going to talk about it. What happened Sunday night? And I know if Chief was here, we'd be hearing the whole "How about them boys?" And you now have to start wondering, because you said once they started beating people, serious teams, you'd start saying, maybe this is their time. And you now have to put your money where your mouth is.
You know, I started actually doing some serious thinking. Maybe they were saving their energy for the playoffs. Beat the teams that mattered, keep us close with the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And then when we play the Eagles, we'll show them what we're made out of.
Well, they also said that when the Eagles play the Cowboys in Arlington, the Cowboys usually win. So that actually does go into your favor.
Well, it also don't help when you go up to Neville Gilmore before the game and tell him he's old. How did that work for him?
Okay, just give me 1 second. I gotta.
Yeah, I found that out earlier that Neville Gilmore said that before the game started, and it was the first play, someone told him he needed to go get back over there with his walker because he's too old to be playing. And it was one of the Eagles. I don't remember which one it was. But he goes, I'll tell you what, that made me mad. It lit a fire under my ass for the rest of the game. But we also can't forget DeMarcus Lawrence's statement when they went to the locker room. When they asked what happened, he goes, well, we just kept punching him in the mouth, and eventually they just gave up. So, yeah, that's definitely a different Cowboys team. But here's a question I have for you. It means we're talking about the NFC side. We have two teams in the NFC East right now that are completely dominant, and that is San Francisco and Dallas Cowboys. Is there any team?
Hold it.
I'm going to write the Eagles out. I'm not even going to talk about them.
But Niners are the West, not the East.
As I meant the NFC side. I said that after I said the East. And the NFC side, there's only two teams that are dominant. Is there anybody you see on the AFC side that can handle their firepower on offense and defense? I mean, if we're talking about Super Bowl, I mean,
yeah, I have a couple of teams in mind on the AFC
that can match them. That have put up the same passing yard ratings, complete stops down the field. Because according to ESPN, there ain't one.
Well, that's
the Ravens are the closest.
I would say the Ravens or the Dolphins.
The Ravens are the closest. The Ravens are sitting at 10-3. Actually, they're the only ones over there that's sitting at 10-3. But if it was going to end today, I would probably say you're right, 100%. But I also have a conspiracy theory that ties into football. So it was brought up to my attention today that since they did the new Super Bowl logo, that it's quite coincidence that all the colors on there has been the previous games. The last colors on there are purple and red. Do we have a potential Ravens San Francisco? And NFL called it?
Maybe.
But my other thing is that I got this questions because everybody knows at work I'm a conspiracy buff. So would that mean the NFL is rigged?
Or maybe they have an idea of what's going to happen. I mean, because a lot of people have an idea what's going to happen. They predict these things.
Yeah, but like you said, anything can happen on any Sunday of football. But the thing is, if you are cutting it down to where you have predicted and put it into your Super Bowl, the last few teams that have been in there, and you have it tied down to this one, I think that's not a little bit far-fetched?
We'll see who's in the Super Bowl, and then we'll talk about it.
I mean, that's
we will put together a special Tuesday night edition of Football Talk mixed with conspiracy theories, if that comes to happen, and we will talk about it.
Yeah, we will have to.
All right.
Oh, but before we go on to anything else, we need to talk about off of Dallas, but we need to talk about the conspiracy. Means we're in here of the final play of the Chiefs game.
We are going to talk about that. We will talk
well,
about
that's why I said means we are already on this topic of big news. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way first.
We can't talk about when we get to it. I was going to talk about it. Trust me, I have my own segment for it. We'll talk about
this is a segment.
But we'll talk about it. Just let's get to the. I mean, shit. That's the Sunday game, man. We still haven't got through the Thursday games.
Look, we just talked about a Sunday game. Right out the gate.
All right. Let's just quickly run down the quick scores that were no big deal. Patriots upset the Steelers 21-18 on Thursday.
We did not see that coming.
Nope, I did not either. However, despite the fact that they won their game, the fact is they were still eliminated because of the Texans' victory.
But I do want to touch base on their quarterback, though.
Jones? All right.
No, it wasn't Jones. It was Zappy.
Yep.
Have you watched him at all?
I have a little bit.
That dude is fun to watch.
Yes, he is.
And if none of you have ever seen this guy, I want you to go YouTube him. This dude, if he makes a first down, he acts like he just scored a touchdown.
Yes,
He
yes,
is.
young
He
amateur.
is something to watch. He is very amusing to watch, and I love watching the Patriots now just because. Let's go! He
He
gets
has
so
energy.
pumped up, man. He really
Well, that's
does.
good. But that's good.
No, but you never.
The rest of the team can feed off of that.
Yeah, but you never see a quarterback do that. Though you see wide receivers, running backs,
Well,
but you
quarterbacks have been
never.
known to do that.
But
They just don't.
you,
But once they get older, they stop.
I've never seen any of them do that. Well, we've seen Brady cry. That happened,
All right, all
but I've
right.
never seen one get like that to where he don't even need a microphone. You can hear him. You know
All
what
right.
I mean? So
I
yeah, I
understand.
mean, I get where you're coming from. And the dude is just amazing to watch. If any of you have never seen this guy, go watch him. He is a good time to watch, and it almost gets you excited too. And it's and it really does. You're just there watching, and you're like, yeah, let's go. Get to the line already.
All right. So, like I said, Patriots are still eliminated because Bengals won their game. So that's the end of the Patriots tonight. Let's see. Buccaneers beat the Falcons 29-25. And because of which Tampa Bay is now leading the South. That was a really good game, and that was a really important game. Unfortunately, the Falcons lost, and that actually may really hurt them when playoff time comes around. Ravens beat the Rams 37-31, another close game. Okay, Chicago, good job. You defeated the Lions 28-13. No one saw that coming.
The Bears.
The Bengals.
And actually, we didn't either because we actually voted against them. And
we actually laughed at them. Yeah, I was like, okay, so for you Cowboy fans, you guys need the Bears to beat the Lions. And then you laughed. I laughed. And then the Bears won. I'm like, yep, okay. We got to put we got to do a little quick surgery over the Monday and get our feet out of our mouths. And I'm like, but what world are we living in? We didn't think of that. All right.
Well, here's what you got to ask yourself, though. We might be the ones laughing our asses off, but how many Lions fans lost money on that game?
Ouch.
So I can still laugh because it wasn't me.
The Bengals beat the Colts 34-14. Good game. The Browns upset the Jaguars at the end there, 31-27. That came down all the way to the end. That was a good game. Those poor Panthers. The Saints destroyed them 28-6.
They just cannot get out of their own way right now.
Who was the only team the Panthers beat again?
Huh?
Who was the only team the Panthers beat? I forgot.
Believe it or not, I believe it was the Jets. I believe they're the ones that gave the Jets their first loss. Let me know when you get to the Browns, because there's something I want to talk about on that.
No, it was the Texans they beat.
Okay. The Texans, really.
All right. Speaking of the Jets and the Texans, speaking of that, Jets destroyed the Texans. I did not see that coming. 30-6. I mean, the Jets, despite the fact,
and we had Texans on that.
They're praying that Aaron Rodgers could return to save them and get them into the playoffs. If they keep holding out like that, they may be struggling for something.
Well, this was Zach Wilson.
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
And they said he played the game of his career.
Well, he acted like it. That's for damn sure. All right. The Vikings and the Raiders game, 3-0. That was
a boring game.
I mean, all defense, sure. But see, we were just talking about this just last week. We were talking about what's more exciting, an all offense game where it goes to like 42-35 and the defense can't stop them, or you get an all defense game and no team can score a touchdown. And we were talking about this just last week, and now we got one. So the question is it a boring game, or is it or is it two defenses that just would not give up?
Or are they both equally that crappy?
No, that just means the offenses are crappy. The defense held them off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You got me there.
I mean, yeah, so that's just something we got to think about. All right, Niners defeated the Seahawks 28-16, and congratulations to the 49ers. They're the first team and only team right now to officially have clinched the playoffs. Congratulations.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about the offense offside penalty with the Bills Chiefs game, 20-17. Go ahead.
I just want to know why Mahomes tried to go after the referee.
Because he claims that the referee's job is that they usually let the offense line know there was some signaling if they're crossing that line, because offense offsides never happens.
But it could be both parts.
Okay.
I was reading into this actually, and they said Martavius Toney should have known by where his points were, and mostly if you are behind the ball, you're already out. I mean, if you're
in front of the ball, yeah,
if you're in front of it or in the middle of it, you're already off. So they're saying it was partially his fault, and the ref saw him adjusting. And I went back and looked, and he really was adjusting. And then you could see him plant his foot down, as in I'm set and ready, and that's where they threw the offsides. So the ref thought he knew.
And here's another thing: once they're set, they can't move because then it'd been a false start.
Yes, and he was in the ref. And the ref, they interviewed the ref. The ref said, "I thought he was adjusting himself. I was watching him, and then he quit, and then I watched his foot set." He goes, and the moment he hiked the ball, I threw the flag. And I'm like, well, he's right. You know, he saw him adjusting. So clearly he should have known what he was doing. So they put that on the wide receiver.
Because see, here's the thing: the wide receiver can't necessarily see where the ball is, and usually during those illegal formation penalties or the offensive or something like that, the referees has been known to say, "Get back a little bit" or "Get forward a bit," because you're only allowed to have 7 on the line.
But I could also play this card.
Hold on, let me finish.
Right, go ahead.
The referees on the ends have been known to do that.
All right.
Because they also know that the offense is at a disadvantage when it comes to once they're set. Because the defense can keep moving around to fix where they're at. Offense, once they're set, they can't move because there's a false start. That's why the referees usually give them a little leeway to, hey, you gotta back up a little bit. But I'm not saying it's on the refs. I mean,
but
Mahomes said it in the interview that he's been playing football for 7 years and he's not once had an offense offsides.
No, because he had Tyreek Hill who knew what the fuck he was doing.
I'm actually gonna check this out.
No, I did check it. It is 100% accurate. It's not a lie.
No.
He was offside. But I have a question for you, though. Where was Mahomes' job at? If Mahomes is doing the job, see, Aaron Rodgers said this before, if a quarterback is doing the job properly, he's looking at all of his guys, making sure they're where they need to be. Dak is making adjustments at the line, looking at his receivers before that ball snapped. So I wish I could go with Mahomes, but I can't.
Oh, man, but what? Listen to Mahomes being so pissed on the mic. I mean, he was freaking livid.
Oh, I think a lot of it was Taylor was up there too.
Oh, was it?
Yes, she was. Yeah, she was up there.
Yeah.
And his wife was sitting with her.
Who? What?
Mahomes' wife was sitting with her.
Joe Taylor.
Yes. So I imagine this is probably more to it. More speculation.
I wish there was I could find a video
Yeah.
just of the offsides call. I don't want these 10-minute things where they're talking about it. I just want
Fox
to see it.
Fox Sports had it up, and I watched it. That's how I watched it, and you could clearly tell he was offsides.
Yeah, I know that. I just can't find it right now.
No, but anywho, moving on.
Yep. All right. Broncos dominated the Chargers 24-7. They bounced back with a good victory that will help them in their that best slot. Yep. All right, Chief. How about them boys? Good job, Cowboys. You dominated the Eagles 33-13, and with that, you did a lot of good things. You knocked the Eagles out of their first place in their division. You helped the Niners secure the first place period of the conference. The Cowboys are now leading the East.
For now.
And
but if the season was to end tomorrow, believe it or not, they would still clinch.
Yeah, they would. They would.
Because they have a better playoff record. And I don't fucking stand that the top seed's the top seed. That's supposed to be better of the conference. I don't understand what a better playoff record has to do with anything. But that's just me. I'm not the NFL.
Wait, what are we talking about?
According to ESPN,
the rules is the 4 top teams in their division gets in, and then the 3 with the best records get in for the wild card spots. That's how it's always been.
No, they would actually clinch the top even if they're in second because they have a better playoff history. That is what ESPN said today about the Eagles. So even though Eagles is sitting on the second seed, if they stay there, and if it was to end today, they would already go up to the number 1 spot regardless. Because they have a better playoff spot, even if they tied out at 10-3 or 14-2. No matter what.
Right. Because you're right. Because of the fact the Eagles and the Cowboys are 1-1, so they can't go by head-to-head. So then they have to go by the better division record. You're right.
Yeah. I don't know. I still call it.
It's one of the tiebreaker rules, and they have to go by it. After division record, if that's the same, then they go to conference record.
Yeah, well, if the Giants if the same Giants team shows up twice, I don't have to worry about it.
We're going to talk about that. Titans defeated the Dolphins by 1 point, 28-27. We're talking about the 2 Monday games. I mean, both Monday games actually were good to watch. I mean, I was on the remote flipping back and forth. They were both good to watch. And then the Giants beat the Packers 24-22. And I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that.
Did you already get to the Browns?
Yeah, why?
When did you do that? Because I've been sitting here waiting on that.
A while ago. But I can go back.
Yeah,
I said the Niners defeated the Jaguars 31-27. Go ahead.
So, the Browns. Do you know who the quarterback is?
What about him?
You do? Who's their quarterback right now?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember. Because I was about ready to talk about DeVito.
No.
Well, we got to talk about DeVito.
The Browns quarterback right now, and they face him next week. And I'm kind of hoping the Browns beat the Ravens now.
Oh, yes.
Joe Flacco is back, and he is a Brown. And here's the thing. He threw over 300 yards Sunday.
I thought Flacco was a Viking, not a Raven.
Yeah. But he was a Raven when he took them to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh. So, how would you feel if Joe Flacco went back and beat the team he took to the Super Bowl? It'd be funny.
Dude, I don't know. Because if that does happen, they can face each other again in the playoffs, and they can really see who'd win. All right.
Like I said, it was just funny to me because he's at 38 years old. He threw over 300 yards passing. That's pretty damn good for someone that's been sitting on the couch doing nothing.
All right.
When was the last time he even played in the NFL before now? I can't look that up, or I would. Because I was just interested on that. I'm like, how's the guy that comes back? And I think this is his first game back, isn't it? Wasn't that his first game he actually played back, or did he play last week? Last I knew, he was signed to the practice squad, and next thing I know, he's active.
Interesting. I'm actually looking at this right now. That I don't know what ESPN was talking about with the whole Dallas and Eagle thing, because right now Dallas has a 4-1 division record, while the Eagles only have a 3-1. So
I think they're talking about I think they're pretty confident they're going to beat the Giants, is what it is.
Yeah, they're throwing that in.
But
right,
they also got to remember, they got the Seahawks, and they gave Dallas a run for their money.
Okay.
So if Dallas struggled with them, how are they going to do?
I don't know. We both know that evil triangle in the NFL, though. A beats B, B beats C, but then somehow C beats A. Anyway, Tommy DeVito on the Giants, the guy that led the Packers to that victory, he has been the head quarterback now for the Giants for the last 4 games, and he's won 3 of them. So
I heard a lot of people say they would rather have him than the other guy.
Yeah. So does that mean?
I also heard a lot of people saying they'd rather have him over Mac Jones at this point.
Exactly my question. Is it too little, too late, or does the Giants have a new run with a new guy?
I mean, if he's winning, go for it.
The only game his first game, DeVito's first game was with the Cowboys, where you guys dominated him, but he also came in late in the game with that 49-17. But then the last 3 games he's been leading, he's been winning.
Yeah, we don't face him again either. So
no, you don't. So
and
yes.
if he did, it would probably be Pick Six City.
So let's talk about the playoff slots, because from week 14, which was the 7 on the NFC side was Eagles, Niners, Lions, Falcons, Cowboys, Vikings, and Packers have switched a little bit. Only one team went out, one team went in, but then positions changed. Now it's the Niners in number 1, Cowboys are 2, Lions are 3, Buccaneers are now in, Eagles, Vikings, and then Packers. But that's what I say, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Falcons, and the Saints all have the same record as the Packers, so it's still a nice little head to the end. All right, AFC side. Last week it was Dolphins, Ravens, Chiefs, Jaguars, Browns, Colts, Texans. Browns, Colts, Texans were the last 3. Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs, and Jaguars. They're still in the 4. The Ravens and Dolphins switched their spot because the Ravens won, the Dolphins lost. But the 3, seed 5 is still the Browns. Seed 6 is now the Steelers. And seed 7 is now the Colts, who fell. And the Texans have fell out. So, but the Steelers, Colts, Texans, Broncos, Bengals, and Bills all have a 7-6 record, so they're all fighting for those last 2 seeds. So, and Browns are only ahead by 1 win. So it is, the AFC is nowhere near locked in. You cannot take your foot off the gas on the AFC. Not yet. Not at all.
Oh no, but if Mahomes keeps losing, he's going to knock himself right out of the playoffs.
No, for that to happen, yeah, that's not going to happen. That's the Raiders and the Chargers would have to catch up. I don't think that's going to happen.
Win out and they lose out. That would happen.
All right, so let's talk about the clinchings scenarios, shall we? Eagles, win and in. Cowboys, win and in. Lions, they can clinch if they win and the Seahawks lose and either the Packers and the Vikings or the Rams lose. So they need a little help to get in. So they need the Seahawks to lose, and then one of the three teams of either the Packer, Viking, or Rams. So they need a little help. All right, Ravens. They can clinch if they win and the Steelers lose and either the Bills or Broncos lose. So they need some help there. All right, on the NFC side, for elimination purposes, there is about 10 factors for the Cardinals that does not involve them, that they can be eliminated even if they win. And I'm not going through all that. But if they lose, they're definitely eliminated. Same thing with your Commanders. If they lose, they're eliminated.
Redskins.
Also, the AFC side, the only team that's in danger of being eliminated is the Jets. But all scenarios is with them losing their game. So if they win, they're safe. So that's where we're at in the. And if the playoffs was to end today, it would be on the AFC side. Browns would go to the Jaguars. Steelers would go to the Chiefs, and the Colts would go to the Dolphins, with the Ravens getting the first round bye. On the NFC side, Eagles would go to the Buccaneers.
Welcome in, welcome in.
Yes, Eagles would go to the Buccaneers. The Vikings would face their rival in the Lions, and Dallas Cowboys would host Green Bay.
We know how that would pan out.
Well, it wouldn't be in the snow, and there's no Aaron Rodgers, so it's not like you have to worry about that.
Well, they're not in Lambeau.
I just freaking said that.
That's what I said. Not in Lambeau. And we have won our last 5 home games.
Mm-hmm. All right. Talk about Week 15 time. Here's the Thursday night opener.
Do I have to?
Oh, come on. It's not that bad. They're both 5-8.
I'll go Chargers.
All right. I'll go Raiders. That way we have a little split.
A little sweat?
Split. Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
Clean your gunk out of your ears.
I've been working on it.
This is we have 3 Saturday games. This is one of them.
I'll go Vikings.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What's their standings? Bengals are 7-6. Vikings are 7-6. Oof. The Bengals has more to lose. They're going to be more hungry. I'll go Bengals.
Don't mean shit. It's the Bengals. Depends which team shows up.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a good one, actually.
If you need to know, Steelers are 7-6, and so are the Colts are 7-6, and Steelers are the 6th seed, and the Colts are currently the 7th seed. So they're both praying to win to stay in their spot, because a loss could be kicking them out.
I'll go Steelers.
I'll go Colts. Because after what the Steelers losing as bad as they did last week. Ooh, next game is going to be this next Saturday game is going to be a good one. Saturday Night Football.
I'll go Broncos.
I'll go Lions.
They're on a hot streak.
So are the Lions, not so much. They just lost, but
yeah, the Green Bay. No, it was the Bears.
Oh, you're right. Now I don't know if I want to go Lions.
Yeah, it was the Bears.
I'm switching my vote.
I was gonna say they just lost to the Bears.
Yeah, Falcons.
You know what? I'll go Panthers. I'll give them a vote.
Oh, that's nice. She's giving you guys a sympathy vote. Speaking of the Bears,
I'll go Browns.
dude, you sure you want to laugh? You remember what happened last time you laughed at them.
I'll go Browns. Hey, what is the Bears' record?
Browns are. Wait, we're saying Browns or Bears?
Bears.
Browns are 8-5. Bears are 5-8.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'll stick with my vote with the Browns there.
But the Browns did just knock off the Lions, so.
Yeah, I'll go Packers.
I'll go Packers. This one might be good, depending on which Jet team coach shows up.
I'll go Dolphins.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Giants on this one.
I'm gonna go with the Saints on this one.
All right. I know.
Yeah, I guess.
I know. You're a Cowboy fan. You can't do it.
No, I just don't like the Giants.
That's what I just said.
You know what? Due to them getting their asses kicked, let's go Titans.
Titans are 5-8. Texans are 7-6. Okay.
And the Texans just got their asses kicked by a losing team.
I'm going to go with you with the Titans only because for some reason the only time the Titans win is when it's in their division. So, oh dear.
You know what? Just because Zappy's playing good, I'm going to go Patriots.
It is in Lambeau. Not
Huh?
Lambeau. I'm sorry, Foxborough.
Gillette.
I am tired.
It's at Gillette.
It's at Foxborough.
Yeah, Gillette Stadium. Yeah.
It's a tomato. I am tired. Man, I don't see the Chiefs losing to the only team that's eliminated in the AFC yet.
I do.
Well, we'll find out. All right. Niners are going to smoke some Redbird.
Yeah, you already have the W up there. I mean, it's right in front of their name.
I meant West, smartass.
It doesn't matter. It's still there. It says it. If you lose to the Commanders, we're done. We're done now.
The Rams are 6-7. Commanders are 4-9.
Like I said, if you lose to the Redskins, you're done.
Well, here's the thing: the Commanders, if they lose, they're eliminated. So they're going to be fighting as hard as they can.
Yeah, but you got the almighty Stafford.
Yeah. All right. I was writing down. I was thinking. Oh, shit. All right. Can you guys handle this?
Oh yeah, I'm going with my boys. Seeing how they just barely knocked off the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm going with my boys.
When did you guys knock off the Chiefs?
I talked about the Bills. The Bills.
Oh, but you're.
I said how the Bills just barely knocked off the Chiefs. I'll go with my boys.
Oh, I'm gonna go Bills only because that momentum is there.
No.
And it's in Buffalo, and
it's not going to help them. It's not going to help them.
And you guys don't go so good in the cold.
We don't.
Nope.
We played at Lambeau during a fucking snowstorm, and then the only reason why we lost is because the ref said it wasn't a catch, but it was a fucking catch.
Mm-hmm. That point is you lost.
And may I add again, this is Josh Allen, who's leading the league in interceptions. Keep that in mind.
You
And we have
Hey,
we have a guy right now named Bland who leads the league in interceptions and pick sixes. So, where am I going to go? I'm going to bet on my defense to show up and pick him off about 7 times.
all right, we'll see what happens. Well, yeah, but the Bills' very first play was a pick six against Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I'm just saying, when does that happen?
When he got a case of flu again, man. Leave him alone.
Very well. Sunday Night Football gives us this.
I'll go with the Ravens. Even though one party wants to go with the Jags. But man.
Dude, but this is a potential AFC championship game right here.
Well, the problem is it depends what Jaguar team shows up. They have been inconsistent all year.
But they're number 4. They're the 4th seed for a reason. They're leading the South.
Barely.
The South is hungry. The South has always been hungry.
All right. Would you bet them to go up against the Bills, though?
Who?
Jags.
Again, which Jaguar team's showing up?
Well, it's the same way with which Bills team.
Or Ravens?
Is Josh Allen going to throw pick sixes all day, or is he going to actually throw downfield and actually make some catches? Potato. So with that being said, I'm going to go Ravens.
All right. I'll give the Jaguars a pity vote. Because
kind of like what he did with the Bills.
Yeah. Monday Night Football.
Let's go Seahawks.
I think the Eagles are finally going to clinch it.
I don't think they are.
All right.
Because remember, if Dallas wins, they still tie out.
Well,
and then
Dallas
they still have the rest of the season.
It's the division record first, but the Seahawks are not in the division, so that's kind of a moot point. But you're right.
Then we still have the remaining of the season before postseason.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to keep you in mind, though, that even if Dallas swings by, we got Dolphins right after. Now, the Eagles have, I want to say after they get done with them, they have the Giants, and then they turn around and get the Cardinals, and then they go back to Giants again.
That I think you're right.
So we already did our big test, which was going against the Eagles, and we slapped them around. And if we get past, can get past Bills.
You're right. After the Seahawks, it's Giants, Cardinals, Giants. Yep, you're right. As for the Cowboys, hold on, let me pull it up.
We finished out with the Washington, I believe.
Loading. You got Bills, then the Dolphins, then the Lions, another tough test, and then you get the Commanders. Yep.
Exactly. So Dallas gets pretty much 4 good teams back to back. So we're going to strive because they're going to want to prove they're better at this point, that they can hang with San Fran. So you ask me who's more dangerous at this point, Bills or Dallas? I'm going to go with my boys. They played aggressive on Sunday for a reason. They're putting everybody on notice that they're coming for it. They want it. And I also have to bring this up that Mike McCarthy had surgery last week and then went and coached on Sunday.
Okay.
And he coached differently.
Okay.
For an example.
I get what you're saying. I'm trying to figure out where your point's at.
My point is, I was wondering which coach we were going to get. The score that we put up on that offense was Green Bay McCarthy, man. I was like, holy shit, the plays were just perfect. So yeah, I was wondering which coach we were going to get. Were we going to get the McCarthy we've had all year, or were we going to get Green Bay McCarthy? I think we got Green Bay McCarthy. But he's definitely done well with Dak, in my opinion, over the offseason. Dak is playing, at my perspective. This is just me. You might agree with me, Michael. You might not. He's kind of reminded me of a younger version of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron pinpointed some stuff out that made me go back and look. So I went back with Aaron in his early days with McCarthy. Everything he's saying about Dak, who else did that at the line? Rodgers did. He doesn't do it anymore because I guess he thinks he ain't got to. I don't know. But I was watching everything from how Aaron played to how Dak's playing this year. It's identical to Aaron Rodgers. A younger Aaron Rodgers, may I add. It's actually quite interesting. But McCarthy's been known to be a QB whisperer. And Dak, as far as I'm concerned, is definitely playing he's on a whole different level than what he was 2 years ago.
Are you saying Dak's your boy now?
Yeah, but will it stay? That's what I'm worried about. Because what is this season for Dak?
What do you mean?
Contract season. His contract's up.
Oh.
So is he playing good all over again because now he has to?
I know. Let's talk about McVay and putting together the unstoppable team. Only let them fall apart the next year.
Well, that's what happens when you go all in on your draft picks, and you don't have the cap to re-sign any of the players. McVay was smart. He wanted a Super Bowl. He wanted be the youngest coach to go to ever to win a Super Bowl. So he went out and got Von Miller. He knew that with Von Miller there,
Aaron Donald had one hell of a good backup.
He had Aaron Donald there, and then you had Ramsey also. So he stacked your defense, and then he went and stacked up your offense just to get rid of them all. Went and got OBJ. Granted, he went out in the first round of the Super Bowl, but he's still there. And yeah, I mean, but we can't say too much. You know, all the teams have done it. We can go down all the way to the list of Belichick. When Brady had to win a Super Bowl with rookie wide receivers. Didn't do shit the whole season, though, just enough to stay in. Got rid of White, so he had a rookie running back. The only people they actually kept was the defense. If they would have got rid of Gilmore and some of those guys, they would have been screwed. Mm-hmm. At that point, he didn't even have Gronk. Mm-mm. He didn't have Wes Welker. He didn't have Julian Edelman. It was literally just, I think at that time, that's when Chris Hogan came in. That became his go-to guy was Chris Hogan. Because they didn't have Danny Amendola, they didn't have Wes Welker, and they didn't have Edelman. And he didn't have Gronk. He had absolutely fucking nobody. I think that's when he had Chris Hogan at the time. All right, yeah, I think that wraps it up on my end. I don't have nothing else.
All right, I'm going to give you a quick list at the end here that these are the teams. The following list is the teams that could win every single game between now and the end, and they will still be out of the playoffs. Okay?
All right.
So somewhere along the line, they're going to need assistance. Okay. The Giants, the Commanders, the Bears, the Falcons. Yeah, that loss really did hurt them. The Rams, the Seahawks, Cardinals, Bills, Jets, Bengals, Texans, Titans, Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders. So there's going to be there. So they're going to need some help in the next few weeks if they still want to keep some playoff home dreams alive. I mean, anything can happen, but like just like this week, the Cardinals could be eliminated despite the fact if they win their game or not.
This is fair.
Do you? Okay, I have a question for you. A lot of people. I got one more question before we go. So before a couple of years ago, it was only the 4 wild card teams, and then only 2 wild cards, and then both the first seed and the second seed got the first round bye. Then they decided to add a 7th wild card. That way, the second seed did not get that first round bye. Do you like the fact that they added another wild card?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Now, I have a question for you. Here's the third question. Do you think they should add another one that not even the first seed gets a first round bye? They would have to face like number 8 or something.
I mean, to me, it makes sense because you added that whole extra week of football.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it makes sense to add it. I don't know how you feel about it at all.
More football, and people don't get just a handmaid to the division round, I suppose. But doesn't that always drive you crazy when a team that's like 10-5 or whatever it is at the end, then all of a sudden they lose to a team that's 7-9 and they're eliminated from the playoffs?
It does. It does bother me quite a bit because I wonder how do you do that good all year and then fall on your face?
Our star quarterback got injured. I don't know.
I'll tell you right now, if anything happens to Zach Martin, our O-line's fucked.
Have you ever wondered just how bad the Chiefs would be if Mahomes was injured?
I don't know. If his receivers can't catch balls, what good is he anyways? That's another thing they were talking about tonight was his passer rating's taking a hit because his guys can't seem to catch the damn balls.
That because a lot of teams have figured out don't blitz, play man.
Well, also, Martavius Toney is a good wide receiver. But when you spend all your money on a quarterback named Mahomes, and you start having to lose things.
Well, here's another problem. Mahomes only had that one weapon in Kelsey. Once you start 3-on-1ing him, you're forcing him to use other weapons that he's not used to. The difference between that and Brady is that even when you took Gronk away, he still knew how to use Edelman. He knew how to use his other receivers. So the problem is Mahomes doesn't have that. Now, granted, Kelsey is good. I mean, you can put him in the same category as Gronk. Hell, he even has Gronk's number, 87. But the problem is that Brady knew how to utilize his other weapons. I don't know if Mahomes does as well.
Well, that's what I was about to say. You know, they spent all that money on Mahomes. They couldn't afford to pay Tyreek Hill. So they sent Tyreek Hill for a first and second round pick to the Dolphins. And look at how he's doing over there.
Him and Tua are doing really well.
Exactly. So it kind of goes that Sean McVay moment, how he's picking up all these pieces, trying to make a team. Well, Andy Reid would rather have a quarterback than have wide receivers, as long as he has Kelsey. Well, Kelsey's great and all, but you still, what's your backup plan? What else you got? You don't have none.
That's why when you play man coverage and double and triple Kelsey, Mahomes is in this tough spot.
Well, that's the thing. They don't have to worry about doubling Martavius Toney. He ain't fast enough. Tyreek Hill was.
Exactly.
So they had to double Tyreek Hill, which left Kelsey open. Okay, well, now he's going to throw to Kelsey. Let's double team Kelsey. Now Tyreek Hill's open downfield. Bam, in the end zone. So it was a damn if you do and damn if you don't situation. Well, now, like I said, you have took that out of the equation all the way around. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't have anything else unless you do. But
no, and I got to get up in the morning. Like in 4 hours. All right, guys. It was great to see you guys. We'll talk to you guys next Tuesday and with some more playoffs and more talking football.
Thanks for enjoying Insidious and Ghost.
And hopefully next time the Chief can join us.
I doubt it.
I am Insidious. Thanks for watching this podcast.
This is the Ghost, and thank you for watching our podcast.
And I am the Chief. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.